Hello everyone, welcome to Sorcerer's Classes. This is Tushar Shaw, and in this video we'll be reviewing the textbook of Physical Chemistry Volume 6, which is based on the computational aspects of physical chemistry. We have already discussed all the 5 volumes of this book, which we have which had different topics, and this book would be the last one to cover one of the topics that is there in physical chemistry. Okay. So, in the earlier videos, we talked about all the topics such as quantum mechanics, thermodynamics, kinetics, all those big topics that we have in our physical chemistry, and so those topics were quite largely covered in the all the five volumes of this book. Obviously, the writer of this book is Sir K.L. Kapoor, and so let me just show you what are the topics that we covered already, so it will be like easy for you to give it a proper look about it. Okay, so you can see that had volume 1 had states different states of matter and ions in solution, which is already done. Volume 2 had the thermodynamics and chemical equilibrium, which is also done. Volume 3, application of quantum mechanics. Basically, here is a printing mistake. Application of quantum of thermodynamics. So this chapter is also done. This included those colligative properties, phase equilibrium, and those concepts. Then we have volume 4, which is the quantum chemistry, molecular spectroscopy, and molecular symmetry. So these parts are also done. But this book was not quite as successful, or you can say quite as useful in compared to the rest of the books. So I have given some substitute for the parts in the chapter that you require, so taking reference from other book from. Okay. So, and volume 5 had this dynamics of chemical reaction, which is basically chemical kinetics, statistical thermodynamics, not statistical and thermodynamics. Basically, here is also a printing mistake. Statistical thermodynamics, macromolecules, and irreversible processes. Okay, so up till this we have already completed in our earlier videos. If you want, you may go check those videos out, so it will be like easy for you to correlate between the chapters and manage through them accordingly. Okay, but volume 6, now one peculiar thing about volume 6, that is the computational aspects of physical chemistry, I would like to like mention about it, that computational chemistry is not basically included in the syllabus of any competitive or non-competitive exams based on the undergraduate level. Okay, so basically if you are a student of BSc in chemistry, and or if you are appearing for examinations like IIT JAM, PUMDET, let us say TIFR, let us say PET, conducted by VHU. Okay, so all these examinations, and obviously in the BSc level, computational chemistry is not included in any of the university syllabus that have under the in the undergraduate level, and nor it is included in the syllabus of all these examinations. That is, these examinations are obviously based on the undergraduate level. These examinations are required for you to take an admission in the master's degree course. Okay, so obviously for that cases, the computational chemistry is not included in the syllabus, and so if you are a BSc student or an undergraduate student, or if you are preparing for any of these exams, you can you only require to study from these 5 volumes of the book, and you can exclude the volume 6 part. Okay, but if you are a student of masters in chemistry, or if you are preparing for NET and GATE examinations, then you require to go through this topic thoroughly, because this part is included in the MSc syllabus, and it is there in the NET and GATE syllabus of NET and GATE, obviously in chemistry. Okay, so for that case you require to study the whole volumes 1 to 6 as a whole, so as to like cover the whole syllabus. Okay, other than that it is like not required so much. So if you are a student of BSc, it will be like very easy for you. You can study just the 5 volumes and you will be done with it. Moving on, so let me just introduce the writer to you. So the writer over here is Sir K.L. Kapoor. He is the former associate professor of Hindu College, University of Delhi, which is situated in New Delhi. Okay, and obviously he is a very reputed professor, and he has done wonders, like printing this book in such a way that I'll be showing you just what are the like basic things that the basic select features of this book that this book has already. Okay. And obviously the printing press of this book is McGraw Hill Education, which is based in India. Now McGraw Hill Education is obviously a foreign publishing company. It has its branch in India, which is situated in New Delhi. Okay. And as the author is Indian, and the publisher is basically kind of Indian, let us say it has an Indian branch and it is printed there, so it is also kind of Indian. So, due to this Indian origin, this book is widely available in any of the bookstores or local bookstores that are there in your area. So, if you want this book, you can go check them. You go check on them, and if they have it, you can buy it quite easily. Other than that, if you require this book and you can't find it in your local stores, what you can do is Amazon, order this on Amazon or Flipkart, because they have these books on stock regularly. Okay. And if you do not require the hard copy, if you'd like to read the soft copy, then I would recommend this book is very readily available on Google, and so you can Google it and find it out. And if you cannot find it on Google, you can mail me at Tushar Shaw 9420 at the rate gmail.com. Okay. So, if you mail me, I'll be definitely replying back to you and sending you the PDF that you require, the specific volumes which you need. Okay. Huh. So let us move on to the contents of the book. I won't be reading the preface, as I've already explained it to you why. So this book is basically based on the computational chemistry aspect of physical chemistry. Okay, so what we'll be doing is the main target of this book would be how we can use chemistry from the computer language. Let us say there's an app called ChemDraw, which I've already told you while I was reviewing the book Clayton Warren Greaves. So this app helps us determine the structures and the reactions that we normally do in our pen and paper. That those reactions can be like written very properly in the this app, ChemDraw app. Okay, so first of all, you can see that the first chapter may include the discussion regarding the synopsis of commonly used statements in basic language. So, what you need to do is you require learning certain languages like Python, Java, C, C++, maybe the old languages such as Fortran. HTML also might or might not be required, that is like not mentioned but in details, but the first four, that is Python, Java, C, and C++. So these are the basic programming languages that you need to know if you are studying computational chemistry, because those languages will be required while like computing some numericals and based on chemistry. Okay, so on basis of these programming languages, the first chapter is we have the introduction, the what are numbers, strings, and variables, how do we do the mathematical operations on a programming language, assigning value to a variable, printing the variable, branching statements, using of logical operators, using of loop statement. So basically loop statement is used for let us say you want to print a number, let us say 25. You want to print this number 25 around 50 times. Okay, so what in normally you have to write 25 50 times line by line, but in this case you can what you can do is you can directly use a loop statement to print 25, the number 25 50 times directly. Okay, so that is the like main one of the main advantages of programming languages, that many sorts of calculations and all types of operations can be done without much hassle. Okay, then we have the scripted variables, the library functions and subroutines, the American Standard Code for information interchange, which is basically ASCII. Now ASCII is like one of the basic computer languages that each and every devices that we have in our like surroundings, all of them follow this ASCII information code. Okay, so basically our keyboard works in this way. Any keyboard in any, be it for mobile phones or be it laptops or computers, all of them follow this ASCII code for certain symbols and certain and all of the letters that are given. Okay, then we have computer graphics for plotting, let us say graphs and bar charts for certain calculations that are there. Okay. So then we move on to the next chapter, that is the list of programs. So the above chapter was just about the introduction and the normal use of programming languages. No such chemistry was involved in that. Okay. So from the next chapter we'll be going into details of the how mathematical operations work in programming languages. So first of all, you can see that few arithmetic calculations are there. Normal addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we have this average and root mean square average of given numbers. You can use this concept for the calculation of CRMS, root mean square velocity, that we have in our kinetic theory of gases part. Minimum and a maximum among the given numbers, ascending descending order of given numbers, ascending descending order of alphabetical names. Okay, so basically, if you are assigning alphabetical names, like A is assigned to 0, B is assigned to 1, C is assigned to 2, in this way alphabets are assigned. Okay, so if you if you want to arrange the arrange the alphabetical letters or names in ascending or descending order, this will be the code that is followed. Okay, then we have the roots of the quadratic equation, which is basically using the Shridharacharya formula: b is equal to minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2. Okay, so this would be like the main basic formula that we'll be using. That then we have a root of a function, generation of Fibonacci series, generation of factorials, prime numbers, Pascal triangle, rounding of a number, matrix multiplication, and value of a determinant. So basically, all sorts of the basic algebraic calculation that we have learned in our lower school classes. So those calculations we'll be studying via programming languages, that we'll be using any programming language, let us say Python, for calculation of the all these algebraic methods. Okay. Now this chapter is obviously not finished, because all the instead of just having the mathematical calculations, all kinds of chemical calculations is also there, and that is the main thing that we need to learn. So the next part is inverse of matrix, solution of linear and nonlinear equations, very important. Then we have balancing of chemical equation. So from here chemistry arrives. Up till the above part we had maths and the whole topic to be mathematical, but from here chemistry arrives. Then we have numerical interpolation, numerical integration, numerical differentiation. Okay, sine and cosine of angles, the histogram ratio, which is basically NCM by NCM maximum. We have a combination rule, obviously. Okay, then we have the evaluation of thermodynamic quantities of monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic substances, evaluation of equilibrium constant, evaluation of rate constant, least square fitting of a graph, polynomial fitting, display of van der Waals isotherm, display of distribution of molecular speed, display of distribution of molecular energies. Okay, then we have the pH titration curves. We have already learnt it in our analytical chemistry, but here we'll be learning it from the computational approach. Okay. Then we have this pH titration curve for diprotic, general pH titration curve for mono and diprotic acids, conductivity titration curve of strong acid with a strong base, display of the simple eutectic phase diagram. Now this is also extremely important, because the calculation of phase diagram, like normally sums come from this part, but we normally don't use the any programming language for calculation of the plot of phase diagram, so we need to learn that. Then we have this display of concentration ABC in a consecutive reaction. The all kinds of display of quantum mechanics, basically particle in a box, harmonic oscillator, wave function of hydrogen atom, angular descendants of p and d orbitals, sp2, sp hybrid orbitals, the bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals of H2 plus. Okay, then we'll be moving on to the display of mass of fraction of Kmer of polymer, display of variation of heat capacity of solids at a constant volume, a thermodynamic term. Then we have the display of units of cubic system, the display of 100, 110, 111, and 0010 planes in primitive cubic system. So all these numbers are Miller indices, as we all know. Then we had the display of Joule-Thomson coefficient in inversion temperature, the calculation of internuclear distance from the rotational constant, plot of the more potential of a diatomic molecule, para-ortho variations of H2 at different temperatures, potentiometric titrations, extremely important. Then we have the solution of differential equation of first order and second order, autocatalysis. Okay. So this was all about the mathematical and chemical aspects of all kinds of calculations and data that we normally use in our normal for studying. So those will be like using in computer language, so as to learn how to do all kinds of calculations, or how to do all kinds of chemistry stuffs in any programming language. Okay, because why are we learning programming languages? Because but today is a generation of computers. Okay, now everything cannot be done by hand, and such huge calculations by hand, if a person does it, it will require like let us say some huge research work is going on. A person can do the research work, like if it is a predictable research work, a person can do it probably the time taken by some amount of work doing by, if done by a person, will be probably a week, and that job in by a computer would be programming language would be completing in a day, obviously. Okay, just you require to type the programming languages quite well, and you will be getting the result as simple as that. Okay, so that is why we need to learn the computational aspect, and that is why it is kept in only the master's course and not in the bachelor's course, because students might be getting confused regarding like they have studied all these part, and now they have to study again these stuffs using computer language. So that is why it is excluded from the undergraduate syllabus in any of the programs, any of school colleges or such. Okay, so then we have projects. So basically these are the projects that you can do after you have mastered the ability of computational chemistry from the above chapters. Okay, so these projects can be either allotted from your project guide or your professors from the respective institute that you are in, or these projects you can do it all on your own. Basically doing it alone won't be providing you with any help, because you won't be getting any recommendation from any guide or professor on that purpose. Okay, if you do it under any professor, that would be like you can write that on your CV, because that would be considered as a project work, and as the professor like as a guide, as the professor as a guide, and you will be working under him. Probably if the guide is like generous enough, probably for the project he'll be paying you money. Okay, where that money we know it as fellowship. Okay, so the project that this book has to offer is van der Waals isotherm, along with the surface discontinuity, display of Gibbs Valley equation, calculation of pi electron Huckel molecular orbitals, eutectic phase diagram via free energy consideration, phase diagram of ideal solid liquid solutions, phase diagram of non-binary source system via free energy, display of shape of orbitals, eigenvalue problem, formation of partially miscible liquids, and oscillatory reactions. So in this part you can see that the maximum part is considered given from the quantum mechanics and the phase diagram part. Okay, so if you are a student of phase diagram, not just a student of phase diagram, you are a student of thermodynamics, and if you are doing a PhD or your specialization in physical chemistry, then this part is for you, because phase diagram is obviously a very extreme part of thermodynamics, and you need to like understand, except for the handwritten procedures, you need to understand how computational aspects of the phase diagram works, and so for that you need to go through these projects. Okay, so this was all about the contents of this book, which is basically explanation of how the only thing that the main motive of this book is we need to like learn programming languages and how to apply our concepts of mathematics, physics, and chemistry on the programming languages, so as to get the work done by a computer, and not provide us a less hectic job to do. Okay, so now we'll be moving on to the basic, let us say, the body of the book, and then we'll be finishing up the video. Okay. So you can see that mathematical operations, or this chapter, the first chapter was very short, obviously. So you can, and one of the most, one of the major thing that this book doesn't have is, in the earlier videos that I have already reviewed of this book, the earlier volumes, you can see that that in the alongside the paragraphs of the book that are given to us, there are side there are side notes, or you may say subtopics on the side of the paragraph, so as to determine which paragraph this paragraph is talking about, what specific topic. Okay, and that had an advantage obviously, because as I mentioned, that if you are searching for a certain topic in a extremely huge chapter, normally in any other books, what you require to do is you open the chapter, you open the topic, and you go through the whole topic, be it of 15 or 20 pages. That would require so much time. Okay, but what happens is, this book, obviously, Sir KL Kapoor had provided all the kind of subtopics in alongside each of the paragraph, so that the students can, instead of going through all the lines, they can go through the subtopics and find the exact paragraph that they have been looking for, and then they can read the paragraph accordingly. Okay, so it will be like, Sir KL Kapoor had done such a great job, has shown such creativity in enhancing the talents of student, and making it less difficult for them to study from his books. Okay, now in this book also, the instead of side notes, instead of the subtopics that are given on the left hand side, the subtopics are given along the paragraph that are there. Okay, so so for that also, that is also not a very big problem, though it doesn't look nice. Basically, you can see that in the earlier volumes, that it looks very extremely good, that you have the subtopic there, and then you have the paragraphic explanation, you have a subtopic, and then you have this derivation, all kind of stuff were there. Now in this book also, we have this M statement, and statement, all these small subtopics, but it is there alongside along with the paragraph. So no, it looks doesn't does not look quite decent. Okay, so the first chapter is all about the basic mathematical functions, and they basically teaching you how to solve how to do programming, how to use a programming language, how to print a result, and some sort of small mathematical calculations are also there. Okay, so you can see that all these programs are examples of programs are given. Um, so the ASCII representation of the characters are given here. So you can, some of the characters, basically many characters are there. 255 characters are there in total, as you can see. Okay, and all of them are not written over here. So you may go through them on Google. Okay. So, one thing that again I found, one of the cons of this book is that, as this book is purely based on computational aspect, and you will be practicing on your computer while you are studying this part, this let us say this chapter. So that is why the practice will be done overall while studying the chapter, and therefore there is no such questions included after the first chapter. Okay, no questions are included, and this I would consider as a con, because normally in the other textbooks of other volumes of this book, they had huge amount of questions for each and every chapter that is there. Okay, if you have gone through my earlier videos, you already know that I am a great fan of questions of this book, that is all that is there in each and every chapter, and they provide a huge large amount of practice after we have studied the whole topic, because and those questions make sense, because we are practicing it that on pen and paper, and we require to, after we have learned or understood a concept or something, we require to check whether we have properly understood it or not, and whether we can solve questions out of it or not. Okay, but in this case, these programs are not pen and paper based. These are basically all computer based programs, and therefore you won't be requiring, basically, if a student is very intelligent, they won't be requiring extra questions for calculation of all these things, for learning to print statement, because those are already done via explanation. Okay, so like, still it can be, it should have been given some questions, but they have not given, which is basically not so much of a problem. Okay, So moving on, we have the second chapter. So you can see that many this programming is question is given, and then accordingly we have the program that is given. Huh. So there are many examples to those programs. Let me just scroll it down. Basically, this chapter is second chapter is based on just programs and examples. No such explanation type of thing is given. That is okay basically because we are just interested in programs only. The how to use the programs we have already learned in the first chapter. So in this chapter, all the things are given in the programming approach, and which is a good thing actually. Okay. So here you can see that exercise for least square fitting. Okay, so questions are given here for you to practice programming, and that is a very good thing. Okay, so you have been given around 21 questions for that specific part. Okay, and the answers were not given, so you may just now, you can see that obviously exercises are given alongside the along with the programming part that is being taught to you. Okay, like some sort of programming is taught, and then they have given so many questions in that. Then they have started another topic where they taught how can this program be done, and then they have given some more exercises. Okay, so this is the way. I guess this way is also very accurate because obviously we are not expecting any questions at the end, and we are practicing this part basically on a computer. So it will be like very easy for us that we are learning on a computer, and side by side we are using the exercises to program and to check whether we have learned the last topic or not, and then we are moving to the next topic. Okay, so. mm, Chapter is not ending. It's so big. Okay, the project chapter has already arrived. Yeah. So you can see that in this case also no questions are given at the end. Okay. Basically, all the questions that should have been given in the end, they have been already included in the middle, obviously, and therefore you won't be like if you are solving it one by one, and if you are following the order of the book, you won't be requiring any questions at the end. Okay. So this was the second chapter, and let us just see the last chapter. But what are the projects all about, and then we'll be moving on with the then we'll be ending this video there. Okay. So in the project work, you can see that for first of the projects, you have been explained the overall theory, that what would the project be based about, and then we have to do some calculations regarding to that project. Okay. So you can see that the calculation is there, and according to the theory, we have designed a program, and from that we have the output provided. Okay. So you can see that output is the graph which is there, and this graph is like in accordance with the theory that is given to you. Okay. So you can see that this program is basically of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. The program holds 7 pages, and the output is basically 7 pages of output is also there. Okay. So you can see that obviously if you have done all these calculation via hand, it would have required days and days of calculation for just making all these tables and all these graphs from the calculation. But you can see that just a 5-page program or 6-page program, if you have the only time required is just typing. Okay, so the 5-page 6-page program that you have, you can type and you can get the result henceforth without any like time delay or anything. We do not require so much time for calculation of so many data, so many tables. They are doing it for us only. Okay. So 4 plots are obtained. These are basically the phase diagram. Okay. So this was all about the programming languages and the volume 6 of KL Kapoor book, and here we just completed um, huge programs are there. Basically, as I have told you, that it would be like a very intellectual enough to not do these projects alone, and if you want to do it, you can take reference of a guide or a professor that you have in your institute, and then you can do. That would be like very useful for you. So, and lastly, there is no index also. So I guess this book, the KL Kapoor sir knew that this book won't be reaching many of the students, because this book is excluded from the BSc or the undergraduate syllabus, and therefore he did not put so much time in making this book. Or basically, this book was lastly printed because of the demand from the MSc students. So that is the case basically. So I would like to end my video here, and I hope you have gotten good knowledge and good the perspective about how this book works, what are the salient features, and how this can be used for computational aspects for of chemistry, mathematics, and all those kinds of stuff. Okay. So by this we end the series of KL Kapoor books over here. All the physical chemistry books are like all not all chemistry physical chemistry. The physical chemistry books of all Sir KL Kapoor are all reviewed. So all the 6 of them, and I'll be then now I'll be starting to review some other books regarding physical chemistry also. Okay. So thank you guys for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.